Hello students, welcome back to our economics class. In the previous class, we have discussed topics like Niti Aayog, then balanced regional development measures which were undertaken by the government, and we have also discussed various types of planning. And today we are going to discuss a topic from 5th unit, that is objectives of agriculture pricing policy. Alright, this is from 5th unit, that is agriculture sector. Alright, so today's topic is objectives of APP. APP means what? Agriculture pricing policy. Let us see what is the introduction for this topic. The arrow mark means the same sentence you need to write. Objectives of agriculture pricing policy vary from country to country. Vary means it is different from country to country depending upon the place of agriculture in national income. Depending upon what? Place of agriculture in national income. Like for example, this is the contribution to national income. Our country, India's contribution to national income was like this. This major part was for agriculture sector, and this was for industrial sector, and this is for service sector. We are talking about agriculture. Alright. So, the objectives of this policy, which policy? Agriculture pricing policy. It will be differing from country to country depending upon what? Place of agriculture in national income, especially for the countries like developed countries. Which countries? Developed. Their dependence on agriculture will be high or less. The dependence of developed economies on agriculture will be high or low? It will be low. Like India is a developing country. So, developing countries depend upon agriculture more or less? More. So, based upon this depending on agriculture, the objectives of agriculture pricing policy will be different in different countries. Alright. The countries which depend on agriculture, their agriculture pricing policy will be different. The countries which depend very less on agriculture and depend more on industry and service sector, their objectives for agriculture pricing policy will be different. Alright. So, in short, how can you write? Objectives of agriculture pricing policy will vary from country to country depending upon the place of agriculture in national income. In the whole national income, if we depend more on agriculture, our objectives will be different. If we depend less on agriculture, then the objectives will be different. Now, let us see what are the objectives of agriculture pricing policy. First one. Now here you can observe that I have round up with a red marker. These are the starting terms. If you forget this, you cannot write the remaining part. So you need to by heart and remember these starting terms. Alright. So total we have some 9 points. Let us see the first one. To meet domestic consumption requirements. To meet domestic consumption requirements. Domestic means what? In your first year you have read domestic market, national market, international market. Am I right? International means between this country and foreign country. Like India and USA is international. If I talk about Maharashtra and Telangana, it is national. If I talk Hyderabad and so place within Hyderabad, then that is called domestic. Alright, first we need to concentrate on our domestic requirements. Alright, if we solve our domestic requirements, then automatically the national and international requirements will also be fulfilled. But first we need to concentrate on the domestic consumption requirements. Am I right or not? For example, if in a class there are 50 students, out of those 50, 10 students are very weak in studies. Alright, if I want to increase the result, I should not focus on the 40 students, those who are very good. I need to concentrate on the 10 students who are weak in the subject. If I improve them, then automatically my whole class will improve. In the same way, in order to develop my country, I should not concentrate on international requirements. I should just concentrate on domestic consumption requirements. Means what are the eatable items? Consumption means what? Rice, wheat, etc. What all the things we consume, what all the things we eat is nothing but consumption. So in an area, in a domestic part, how many people are requiring which commodity? Which commodity is very scarce, very less in quantity? How should I meet that? Few people are dying because of hunger on streets. How should I solve that problem? This all things comes under domestic consumption requirements. So what is our first objective? To meet domestic consumption requirements. Alright. Then second, to provide price stability of agricultural products. To provide what? Price stability for agricultural products. Stability means what? Stable, neither increasing nor decreasing. It is constant. So this price, a constant price which will be fixed for which products? Industrial products? No. For agricultural products, there must not be too high price or too low price. If the price is too high, also it will create a problem. If the price is too low, also it will create a problem. How? If the prices are too high, then the customer will not be having that much of purchasing power. If the commodity is too costly, can an average person purchase it? No, he cannot purchase it. Okay, so price should not be high. Then second thing what I said, price should not be too low. Because if I am manufacturing some product, if I am not getting minimum profit from that, then that will be a loss for me. So price stability should be maintained, neither too high prices nor too low prices. So to provide price stability for agricultural products. Next, to ensure reasonable relationship between prices of food grains and non-food grains. There must be reasonable relationship between what? Food grains and non-food grains. What are food grains? Rice, wheat, jowar, bajra, dals, pulses. These are all food grains. Apart from this, what all the other commodities are there, like cotton, jute, etc. will come under non-food grains. So the food grains and non-food grains must have a reasonable relationship. Farmers should not completely depend upon food grains. Farmers should not completely depend upon non-food grains. They must depend equally on both of the food grains and non-food grains. Let us see the next one. To remove price differences between two regions. To remove what? Price differences between two regions. For example, this is the one region and this is another region. If I purchase a commodity from this region, it is some 40 rupees. and if I purchase the same commodity from this, it is 60 rupees. Here it's 40 and here it's 60. Are they both different? Yes. So there must not be any differences between two regions. Alright. Which differences? Price differences should not be there between two regions. If it is there, we need to remove it. So to remove price differences between two regions, concentrate on the main words: to meet, to provide, to ensure, to remove. Alright. Next point. To ensure reasonable relationship between prices of agricultural goods and manufacturing goods. The same sentence which we have read here, just instead of food grains or non-food grains, we are having agricultural goods and manufactured goods. Alright, what all the goods which are produced from agriculture is known as agricultural goods. What all the things like book is a manufactured good, it's not an agriculture good. Bench is not an agriculture good, it's manufactured good. Alright, so between agriculture goods and manufactured goods, there must be a reasonable relationship. Alright, so how many 5 points are done? Shall we go to the 6th point now? To make available food to customers at the time of shortage. Means whenever there is shortage, we must be making them available with the food requirements. For example, if a person doesn't need any help, if you are going and helping that person, then that is of no use. At the second case, if that person is facing some problem, he is not having food, he is not having money, at that time if you help him, then that is a good deed. Alright, he will give you many blessings. Alright, so what we need to do at the time of shortage, we must make available food to the customers. We must provide food to the customers when at the time of shortage. Next point. To increase the production and exports of agricultural products. Two important things: increase the production and increase the exports. We need to increase our production. Like if we used to manufacture 400 bags of rice, now we need to manufacture 1000 bags of rice. So we need to increase our production. Then what is export? Sending our goods to another country. Okay, while selling our goods to other country, we will earn foreign income, right? So we need to increase not only our production but also the exports of which products? Industrial products? No, of agricultural products, because we are talking about agriculture sector. Alright, next point. To provide raw materials to industries at reasonable prices. Yes, this is very important thing. Like if the raw materials, if you buy costly, then obviously the cost of production will also be more. For example, if you are running a restaurant, alright, and you are making many kinds of, you are cooking many dishes, like what raw materials you require, you need to purchase it from a vegetable market, right? If you purchase vegetables at a higher cost, very costly and expensive vegetables if you buy, then it will affect the price of the good. Alright, if the dosa was for 50 rupees, but what all the things you are requiring, that is vegetables, potatoes, etc., if you buy that costly, then automatically the price of dosa will also increase from 50 to 80. Alright, so we should not increase the prices in that way. Instead, we must buy the raw materials at reasonable rate and we must provide it to the industries. Last and final point, to prevent exploitation of farmers from zamindars and other intermediaries. like our farmers are being exploited from zamindars. Exploited means making use of them excessively, providing less salary but taking more work from them. Those are the habits of zamindars. So we must prevent the zamindars from exploiting our innocent farmers. So total all 9 points are completed. Let us just recall it once again. To meet domestic consumption requirements, to provide price stability for agricultural products, to ensure reasonable relation between prices of food grains and non-food grains, to remove price differences between two regions, to ensure reasonable relation between prices of agricultural goods and manufactured goods, to make available food to customers at the time of shortage, to increase production and exports of agricultural products, to provide raw materials to industries at reasonable prices, to prevent exploitation of farmers from zamindars and other intermediaries. So this topic is completed. We have discussed objectives of agriculture pricing policy. In our next class, we will be discussing what are the features of agriculture pricing policy. So please note down all the points, try to read it and write it without seeing also. Just write this topic for 3 times. One time with seeing, second time you just try to write how many points you can without seeing, remaining you can write with seeing, and last and final when you write the third time you must write the whole topic without seeing at this point of time only. Just don't close your phones, just don't close your books until and unless you can complete this topic 100% perfectly. So see you in the next classes with some more interesting topics. Till that, stay healthy, stay safe and keep practicing.